Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show. I'm Mark. Today we're doing chicken paprikash, and the first thing you're going to need is a butt ton of paprika. Now, my favorite paprika is sweet Hungarian paprika. I couldn't find any, so I've got an assortment here, and we're looking for 1 ounce of paprika, or approximately 1/4 cup. So I'm using 6 ounces of sweet, then I'm throwing in a couple ounces of smoked, and rounding it out with a tablespoon of hot Hungarian paprika. And that'll take me to my 1 ounce. Also, the reason that I'm out of my favorite paprika is because I made this dish yesterday, and I forgot to hit record on the second half of the video. Whoopsie doodle. Very Totally Honest Cooking Show. We're going to go ahead and get our burner going on medium-high and also preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of oil to our pan. Get your chicken ready. Put some kosher salt on them. Make sure that you got the skin out from all the places it connects so that, it actually cooks. Once the pan looks hot, we're going to start placing our chicken skin side down. This recipe will work with 6 to 8 chicken thighs. The problem is going to be finding room for them in the pan. I like to use a high-walled pan for this. You probably don't have to. And as always, I'm going to start my count-up timer. We're looking for 5 to 8 minutes. It might take a little longer on these burners. Next thing we want is a large yellow onion. We're going to slice this thinly. And because I'm being lazy and because I also did this yesterday, I'm just using the mandolin slicer. You can use a knife if you don't have one. Remember, always use either some sort of guide with your mandolin or a glove. These are special cut-proof gloves. Don't just stick a mitten on there. Many recipes list this next part as optional. We're adding in 2 bell peppers. Now again, I'm only half Hungarian, and my great-grandparents came here, so really I'm an American who eats chicken paprikash. But I have no idea if this is authentic in any way. I believe that they do use whatever regional peppers they have in Hungary. But this is pretty common in the US version. And you can cut these into whatever form factor makes this easiest for you. Yesterday I quartered them, today I'm halving them. I'm not really sure that it matters in any way. With most of our prep work done, we're ready to turn back to the chicken and give it a check. Some of it will be golden brown. You're going to flip that for 2 minutes. Some of it will not be quite ready for that. So we're just going to leave it, let it cook a little more. As they start finishing, feel free to move the ones that are done out. This will allow you to get better browning on the ones that aren't quite done. Once everybody's about where you want it, you're going to pour the fat off. Then you're going to add about a tablespoon of the fat back, because why not? And then we're throwing our veg in, along with a big old pinch of salt. Give everybody a mix around. And we are going to scrape up the fond, but we just want to give it a minute, because the moisture will come off all this and it'll help make that easier. Okay, scrape up the fond. Again, notice it comes up a lot easier now than it was trying to come up before. Don't use violence if you don't need to. Now, we should have done this before we started, but that's okay. This is a packet of gelatin. This is 1 cup of chicken broth. Now, using my small but not extremely tiny whisk, I am just going to mix them together. In about 5 minutes, this will be good to go. I'm also going to take this time to add a little bit of black pepper to the top of my chicken. While we're waiting for that to come together, we're going to get together at least 3 cloves of garlic. Next, I'm passing it all through a garlic press. You could mince it, and it would be fine. I like a garlic press because it's more garlic per garlic. You're expressing more oils. And because I don't want it to be lonely in there, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. This came out of a can yesterday. Now we're ready to add our paprika. We're taking all of it at once. And we're just mixing it around. Try to avoid getting it on the wall of the pan if you can. It might not be helpable. Yeah. And we're only giving it like a minute because paprika will burn. And you don't want that because, you know, it's hella expensive. And then we're going to add our chicken broth gelatin mixture. And then we're going to add our tomato paste and our garlic. I missed something which is annoying. This is 4 tablespoons of measure for measure flour. It's supposed to be all purpose if you have it. We're just going to mix it in and hope that we do okay. It was supposed to go in before the liquids, so I'm just trying to separate it a little bit. Should have gone in when the paprika went in. Again, you can make mistakes. It's fine. You will survive. As long as you know how to love, you know you'll be alive. Okay, at this point I'm killing the heat. Now, let's talk method. You could put a lid on this and let it bubble for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and be done. And it would be delicious and it would be fine. Or we can braise it, keep some of the crispy skin. That is up to you. I'm going to braise it because if you watch this show a lot, you know that I like braising. Pour my juices back in. And I'm going to stick this in the oven for 45 minutes. And while that's going, we're just putting a big old pot of water to a boil. And drop a bunch of salt in. So we're making some nokedli, which are dumplings. I'm pretty sure they're the same thing as spätzle. We're going to crack 2 eggs. Then we're going to add 3/4 a cup water. Half a teaspoon salt. Give it a whisk. And then 2 tablespoons of sour cream. We're going to whisk that in too. You can also use milk instead of water. And then we're very slowly going to whisk this together. Now, here's the gig. Like with most things, gluten-free flour does not always want to work well with this sort of thing. Yesterday when I made the version that I didn't record all the way, I found that it tightens up way more than traditional flour for this recipe. So I'm not going to be able to whisk the whole amount, which is fine. This is about the point where it's going to stop cooperating. So you're going to need to switch tools. Now the good sign here is that it's staying a lot wetter than it did yesterday. Okay, once the water's boiling, you got a bunch of options. You could run it through a spätzle board like I'm about to. You could take some teaspoons of it and just cut it off. I prefer the spätzle board because it's easy. My grandmother apparently used to pour it out into the bowl and knife it as it was going down. Now, I gotta say, yesterday I made it without the sour cream because some recipes don't call for the sour cream. And it was super dry, which is weird. It was like trying to cram bread dough through a spätzle board. This is much better. I don't know if the sour cream helped hydrate it or whether I just used more water, or I measured everything the same other than the sour cream. So that's why I'm thinking that's it. Then you're going to want to shovel these out and hold them warm. I usually use this for deep frying, but it's great for spätzle or nokedli. I come from a multi-ethnic background, so some words were used more than others. Now, traditionally, these are made pretty small. You can make them big as well if you really want. While it's hot, stir in some butter, because butter makes everything delicious, including this. Last of the prep, we're going to take a bunch of dill, and we're going to mince it. Go ahead and pick through it. Make sure you get all the big stems. The little stems are fine. You're just going to mince this up as best you can. If you watch this show a lot, then you know I'm not very good at mincing, especially herbs. And once that's done, or my hand is so tired that I don't want to go on, I'm going to roll my lemon. Whoop. And once that's done, or my hand is so tired that I don't want to go on, I'm going to roll my lemon. Cut that in half. And we're going to prep half a cup of sour cream. If you're not familiar, Hungarian food is very sour cream forward. Approximately 45 minutes later, and we're greeting with this bubbling deliciousness. Now, if you do go the braised route, remember to wear a glove. We're going to go ahead and take the chicken out momentarily. I thought I was done with all spatula related activities, and it turns out I was not. There was one left. We're going to go ahead and add our sour cream to this, and a bunch of dill. And I'm going to squeeze in the juice of half of a lemon. And then I'm going to pick out the seed of half of a lemon. Then we're going to go ahead and mix. Now you are going to want to get all of the condensed tomato paste and vegetable bits off the sides, because flavor lives there. And you're going to keep going until you get this wonderful orange color that's indicative of the paprikash. You want to get rid of as much of the white as you can so that it's fully mixed. Now, how you serve this is up to you. I like to take just a big bunch of the nokedli, put them on the bottom, and then a bunch of the sauce. Now, while it's still fresh, I like to dip the bottom in. But while it's crunchy like this, I try not to get it too sopping on top. I like to leave a little space because it will look crunchy, and I like crunchy. The rest of these I'm going to eat later, so we're going to give them the full treatment by dipping and turning them. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more dill. Okay, happy 400 subs. You didn't think I noticed, I did. Oop. I forgot one thing, and I'm not going to go back and add it because I'm hungry. Half a teaspoon of Asian fish sauce. This tip comes from J. Kenji Lopez Alt, and it really brightens the sauce up a little bit. It's fine without it, but if you have it around, it's better with it. Okay. Happy 400 subs. Look at this. Chicken paprikash with some dumplings. Like, subscribe, ding the little bell, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.